A big breaking news in sportscars racing. And unfortunately this is not good. Porsche Penske will be leaving the hypercar class at the end of the current season and will not be in WEC next year. What really happened? Let's understand this story now. First of all, let's understand what was going on with Porsche in last weeks. We had a lot of rumors about Porsche's continuation in both hypercar and GTP programs were under in risk. That's because the German manufacturer's sales are down due to US import tariffs and very bad demand in China. These resulted in 90% down sales. And it's not the first time that a manufacturer leaves a very important motorsports program in history due to financial issues. We saw in the past with the same Porsche leaving LMP1 program in 2017 due to Volkswagen Dieselgate, BMW, Honda and Toyota leaving F1 in late 2000s due to 2008 financial crisis. Some people could be wondering if the BOP could have been a reason to Porsche to leave WEC. We know that the German brand is really not satisfied with the current BOP system in WEC, which has been so controversial in the endurance racing scenario. Thomas Laudenbach, Vice President Porsche Motorsport, had admitted that the car number 6 should have won in Le Mans this year after a perfect execution, but unfortunately wasn't able to defeat Ferrari. But no, the BOP is not the main reason for Porsche Penske in leaving WEC Hypercar next year. Like said before, Porsche is not facing a good financial moment now, and this is the main cause about them pulling out the hypercar program in 2026. With Porsche leaving the hypercar in 2026, it doesn't mean that the 96.3 will be totally cancelled. That's because they will remain in the GTP class at IMSA next year. But why staying in IMSA, even leaving WEC? Well, that's because IMSA is focused only in North America and the GTP class only competes in the USA. So that means the logistic costs is much less compared to WEC, which is a World Series which competes in Europe, North America, South America and Asia. And the German manufacturer will also keep competing in Formula E, which is also much cheaper than WEC. Thomas Laudenbach admitted to Sportscar 365 that this is not a definitive farewell in the top class of WEC. And we need to remember that we can potentially have huge changes in 2030, with the current LMH and LMDh platforms being merged in a single set of technical regulations, which is something that Laudenbach is wishing for. Well, with Porsche Penske leaving hypercar in 2026, it will definitely shake up the lineup in the GTP class in 2026 and also in the WEC top class. That's because at the moment, Julian Andlauer, Michael Christensen, Lawrence Vanthoor and Kevin Estre have nowhere to compete in next year. With new manufacturers joining in the hypercar class for next year's, some of the current Porsche Penske drivers can potentially switch brands. There are rumors that Matthew Jaminet is linked to Genesis, Matt Campbell to McLaren and Felipe Nasser to Ford. But we need to wait about what will happen to current drivers in next months. Now many people are wondering about what will happen to Proton Competition in the hypercar and if Porsche will still be in the top class at Le Mans next year. Well, the answer is, depends. Proton Competition will only continue in the hypercar with the 963 next year if they get a second car or if another customer team joins them to operate a 963 car. That's because it's mandatory every brands to have a minimum 2 cars to be in the hypercar. So, if Proton or another team gets a second car, Porsche can be at Le Mans in the top class next year. But if not, we will not have the iconic German manufacturer at the most important endurance race in the world fighting to win in overall. And about the LMGT3 class, we still don't know yet what will happen to Manthey next year. Porsche can still be in the GT class in WEC next year, like we see today with Mercedes, which doesn't have any plans at the moment to join the hypercar. But in another hand, the Stuttgart brand can also leave the LMGT3, like we saw with Lamborghini last year when the Squadra Corse left the series in both classes after splitting with Iron Lynx. Anyway, it's a big shame to see an iconic and a big brand like Porsche leaving the hypercar class next year. It's like if Ferrari was leaving the Formula 1. And also will be a shame in not seeing the Porsche 963 winning in overall like we saw with other iconic cars in the past with the 917, 962 and 919 hybrid for example. But at least we will still watch the 963 LMDh prototype running in IMSA next year, and we hope that Porsche can return as soon as possible in WEC in the future. Well guys, what are your thoughts about Porsche Penske leaving WEC in 2026? How will you guys miss Porsche in the WEC top class and also in Le Mans next year? So let me know down in the comment sections below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to not lose any more videos about WEC and IMSA. We see you in the next videos.